Hello there, everyone. Welcome to a live stream. Welcome to a match reaction show for the 1894 podcast. As I tweet, we are live. Yeah, it was a pretty nice victory for Bristol City yesterday in a really remarkable night at Ashton Gate under the lights, which resulted in 3 points for Bristol City. Obviously, and yeah, it's just an unbelievable day, and beating a side who are 25 unbeaten. Yeah, it's always nice. I am joined with me as always by Matiss, who's normally my co-host on these podcasts. Matiss, how are you doing over in Italy?
I'm absolutely loving it. Back-to-back wins now for us, and just a brilliant performance. Like you said, this team haven't lost since September. 25 games is incredible, and yeah, going into it, we weren't expecting this, and then we go and we dominate and score 3 second half goals, 3-0 up, and yeah, late penalty for them, but overall, just an incredible performance. And I mean, it's just Bristol City. We get 3 on the trot, and then we have this kind of shaky period since that Watford game. But there's been promising performances, and we've seen them. Obviously in our FA Cup run, we've been good, and in recent games as well, we can see what we're trying to do, but the results aren't just coming. And then last 2 games have been brilliant. And we found the back of the net 5 times in our last 2 games, and yeah, just a dominant performance, and it's really positive. And yeah, this is against a great side as well.
Yeah, as you'd have seen by the title of this video, Bristol City ran out 3-1 winners against Southampton yesterday. You have to take into account Southampton year one parachute payment side, newly relegated from the Premier League. The squad is ridiculous. It's really top quality squad, and Bristol City have gone and turned them over in quite comfortable fashion as well for large majority of it. Along the bottom, you'll see the Bristol City side, the starting 11, and in brackets are the substitutes who came on and what minute they came on at. So it was Max O'Leary in goal. It was a back four of George Tanner, Rob Dickey, Zach Viner, and Hayden Roberts. Hayden Roberts came in for Cam Pring. We thought Cam Pring would be fine, but maybe he probably is fine. But maybe just as a precaution to just keep Cam out for now, and maybe he's back for QPR.
Yeah, I think it was just a little knock, and it was a precaution, which it's a little bit worrying, but we haven't got too much information on it, so hopefully it's not a big deal. But at least now we have the depth with Hayden Roberts back, so he can slip into that position. And yeah, so not a big problem. Other than that, we took out. I'm just getting it up now. We had Williams.
Before you say anything, the rest of the team was Matty James, Joe Williams, Jason Knight, Knight operating more advanced, obviously. Then it was Sam Bell on the right. Sam Bell on the left, Mehmeti on the right, and Tommy Conway as the main striker up top. Yeah, what were you going to say on the team?
Yeah. So like you said, in the midfield, Williams came in for Gardner Hickman, and then Cornick and Wells off for Mehmeti and Conway. And then, like you said, we can see that we switched the roles of Bell and Mehmeti, because we did try them as well for a couple of games with Bell on the right. So yeah, just interesting to switch up. And I felt like now we saw a kind of I kind of saw that 4-2-3-1 out of possession more than a 4-4-2, kind of from what I saw. But yeah, coming in Roberts, obviously we said Pring was a bit of a knock, and then Williams, Meti, Conway. I mean, we've played a lot of games recently, lots of Saturday, Tuesday, Wednesday. It's been non-stop since Christmas, so yeah, just rotation as well. And then I think after this Saturday's game, we get a couple weeks of just one match week games. But yeah, pretty not too angry with the switches. Other than we have mentioned the James and William combo sometimes is a worry, but yeah, I guess sometimes we don't really have too many options, so I guess he decided to stick with it.
I know it's Twitter, but that was a talking point on social media as well about, it's Matthew James and then it's Joe Williams. That is it a perfect combination for us to, tackle possibly, quite big sides. But, I mean, we'll see. Joe has given us a comment here. It's a great team. Thank you very much. What do you think of the Joe Williams situation? It seems that 99% of the fan base would offer him a new contract, and he seems happy here. So surely it's only a matter of time. Well, we don't know exactly what's going on with the Joe Williams situation though, because it seems like hopefully there's a new contract kind of being discussed with him and Williams. Obviously, you have to appreciate the fact that Joe Williams has played up north for most of his career. He's Scouse, so he might want to move. He might want to move closer to home. But if we are, hopefully, because he's been crucial for us under Manning in particular, he's been absolutely brilliant under Liam Manning. Hopefully, he's given a longer contract and extends his stay at the football club, because I'd like to see that.
I tend to agree, and I'm probably part of that 99%. I mean, he's played a lot of games for us already, 95, which is a lot. And
there's
also considering
and his injury record is now no longer that much of a concern, is it? Because he's now played a lot of games consecutively.
Exactly. Yeah, he's been on a good run now in terms of minutes played, and he's been really solid. I mean, he got man of the match for the game last night, and he's just been brilliant. I mean, the assist at West Ham, and just solid in the midfield. And also, if Matty James does leave in the summer, it'd be really useful to keep Joe Williams for that added depth and just more of a defensive role in the midfield. So yeah, I'd say we'll be looking to keep him, and I'd be surprised if he does leave.
Yeah. So we'll talk more about the Joe Williams situation when it actually gets to crunch time in terms of his contract talks and whatnot. In terms of Southampton, the opposition, it was Gavin Bazunu in goal, a back four of Carl Walker-Peters, Taylor Harwood, Bellis, Jan Bednarek and Ryan Manning. It was Shea Charles, Joe Rothwell and Will Smallbone in midfield. No Flynn Downs for Ross Martin's side, which I'm sure was a massive loss for them. It was David Brooks and Sam Adosia on the flanks, and Adam Armstrong, who is, I think, the joint top scorer now in the Championship after his goal against us yesterday. He started up top for the Saints. And straight away, I thought we got in a very good shape defensively. Maybe not offer too much going forward. Actually, no. I'll take that back. In context of the side we were playing, I thought we did quite well in terms of offering a reasonable threat going forward, maybe not creating too many big chances or clear-cut chances. As I say that, Southampton didn't really offer much. I thought we offered a good structure defensively, didn't really allow Southampton to play through us, especially through the centre, where Williams and Matty James, who, by the way, were ridiculously good. I thought we limited them and kept them at arm's length, really, for that first half.
Yeah, I'd agree. It wasn't an eventful first 45 minutes, but defensively, we were really solid. And I thought we looked a bit more of the threat. We had a couple chances going forward. Just, again, lacking a bit of the final pass, a couple of counter-attacking opportunities. Mehmeti, I think, had a shot as well, just went straight to Bazunu. But, yeah, I'd say it was a good half. They did have that big chance near the end at the crossbar. It was kind of just a couple deflections, and then Adozie just got a hit on it, and it clipped the crossbar and went over. Not too much going.
That was a weird shot, actually. Sorry for interrupting. That was a weird shot because I'm sat in the south stand, so that's right behind me, and it looked like it was going to kind of dip, and it was going to just kind of like go over the bar, but kind of like it hit the bar, but it never really looked like it was going to go in, because I think it hit like right at the top of the bar and went out, didn't it? So yeah, sorry. I think that.
Yeah, exactly.
I'd count as a chance. It was a tough chance because it was hit right, like he was jumping, wasn't he? His left foot was up in the air, wasn't it? Adozie. So that it was a tough chance, but hit the bar. But it's not like
it's more of a hit
like
in
close range, is it? It's a bit much, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of just hit and see where it went. But yeah, overall in that first half, nothing too much going. And then at half time, change for Southampton, bringing on Stuart Armstrong, which it says down there. Just for, I guess they just want to change things up, and they weren't really happy, which is fair enough because their record, again, if we go back to it, I mean, there are a lot of stats given throughout the game when I was watching as well. But yeah, their record has been amazing. We held our own really well, and I thought in that second half we could go out and really push on for something, and we had a strong bench ready as well. I mean, we'll get on to Mabude soon, but yeah, he wasn't played yet, so we were excited to see him. But yeah, the start of that second half, and I mean, a lot happened in that 45. It was pretty completely opposite. Straight off the bat, we give the ball away. I think it was a poor pass from Hayden Roberts. Rob Dickey, it was never going to him, and then it came to Armstrong, who laid it off to Dozy. And then at that point, it was like a 3-1, and I was like, if they don't score here, we have got very lucky. Plays it across, and I'm not sure who hits. It goes wide, but it was a thumping hit for it was Brooks.
Yeah, David Brooks.
Yeah.
Brooks, yeah.
And watching those replays, that was a tough hit into the post, but it was fine after. It was more of an impact injury, but a massive chance there. And again, just coming from just a poor unforced error. So yeah, we were lucky to get out of that one, but yeah, kept it 0-0.
Can I say that was probably the only chance Southampton actually had at 0-0? Because after that, we were absolutely brilliant. We were so clinical. The first goal occurs. It is the ball is fed to Ani and Matiss on the right hand side. We're now attacking the south stand. And do you know, at half time, a lot of things are going through your head, especially when you're facing a good side. So it's like, are we? So we're attacking this end. So like, well, I'm not gonna get much. I'm not gonna get much in this way. That's probably gonna be more that way. I was completely wrong. We absolutely battered them. And Matiss gets the ball on the right hand side. Does what I thought was initially a little 1-2 with George Tanner. It was absolutely not. It was a massive deflection of Will Smallbone. Went into the path of Matiss quite fortuitously. Matiss puts it right across the box. Sam Bell is there to poke it home, and yeah, it's quite lucky for Matiss, to be honest. But he does the right thing after that, doesn't he? To just put it right across the face of goal, cause a bit of confusion in the Southampton penalty area. And yeah, Sam Bell, I think he needed that.
Yeah, very happy for Sam Bell. I mean, obviously it's coming at him straight, but we've seen it doesn't always go in, especially with Nahki Wells against Nottingham Forest, those types of shots. But he takes it well. He's on the full, and then he scoops it. It hits it. It's a decent finish, and extremely happy for him after that penalty miss. Obviously, I think it was a much needed goal for extra boost of confidence. In terms of Matiss, I mean, he's just relentless. He just carries that threat, and it's a bit lucky, but he kept going. He took it on well, and the pass was good. Went through Southampton defenders' legs and found Sam Bell. So it's just good to see that we're more clinical at these chances and moving it down the wing and just getting into the box. And we finished it off. So good goal. Go 1-0 up pretty early on in the second half, and atmosphere looked incredible as well. 1-0 up against a team again who hasn't lost since September. So I mean, you can tell me about the atmosphere, but it sounded pretty good from there.
Well, on TV, it sounded pretty good, didn't it?
Yeah, on TV it sounded good.
Normally does on TV because they can shift things and they can amp it up. They normally does. It wasn't that. Well, the fact that we were 1-0 up against Southampton made it quite good, but it wasn't like unbelievable. It was better when it was 2 and 3-0. Obviously. The thing with Anis is, I think we've got two wingers in Sam Bell and Ani and Matiss, who I think are both a little bit more effective on the right hand side. Bell is like direct, fast, tries to take play, tries to beat people for pace. Matiss is a little bit more slow, but it's skill. It's trying to outfox defenders, fullbacks basically. I think it suits both of them to get in on the right hand side on their favoured foot, beat their man, and put balls across the box. I think the pressure of trying to cut inside and then trying to shoot, or trying to put balls in on your left foot, is not particularly what I want Mehmeti or Bell to have. So would you agree that both probably a little bit more effective on the right hand side than the left hand side?
Yeah, I tend to agree. I mean, we've obviously seen Sam Bell put on the left a lot of the time in the past, but in recent games, and especially, I mean, we had some poor form, but I could see potential there on the right wing, and he got past players, and he just looked much more of a threat. And obviously, Anis as well feel the same. So yeah, it's just about finding we can put on the left now, or if we just use both of them, and then perhaps they interchange throughout the game. But we obviously have people like Mabude, Sykes, and Sykes wouldn't really play on the left, but Cornick, etc. But yeah, I'd say so. And yeah, after that, I mean, it was just pure dominance. That half was just incredible. I mean, it only took 10 minutes, and we found the back of the net again. Corner this time. Was it after the substitutes?
So the
No,
substitute.
yeah,
Okay,
before.
let's talk about the substitutions first for City. So substitutions, as you can see along
But that
the
came
bottom.
after. It came after the goal.
I thought the goal was. Oh, I'm thinking about the third goal. Well, okay, let's talk about the goal then. It was a Joe
Yeah.
Williams corner, wasn't it? From the right hand side. Is it an in swinger or an out swinger? It's an out swinger. It's an out swinger. It's an
In-swinger.
out swing. Which side is it
In-swinger.
from? Oh no, this is a mess.
It's
Which
from
side is
it's
it
by
from?
it's by the East End. It's by the East End, and it's an in-swinger by
I
Williams.
thought it was the other
because
side. Oh no,
no,
it is
I've got
by
the
the East End. Oh
yeah,
no, it is by the East End.
yeah,
I've
by
done.
the East End.
I am literally right by the. I am literally in the East.
Yeah,
and
it's in
that's
front of
shocking.
you.
I am
It's
literally.
you've seen him take the free kick in front of your eyes. Not the free kick, the corner. But yeah, it's Joe Williams on it because Garner Hickman's on the bench, and it's a brilliant in-swinging ball. And I was just like, come on, let's just get ahead on it. We're really good at corners. I think it was mentioned before in the game as well. We've scored 10 goals from corners, and so that makes it 11 for us. And finds Dickey at the back post, and we've kind of seen that. We obviously always aim for Dickey in our corners. He usually either gets a flick on.
It's like when England.
It's like when England
always. It's like when England always aim for Harry Maguire at set pieces at majors. They could take it short and they could pass it right back to their centre, right back to John Stones, and right back out wide. The ball always going to Harry Maguire. It's literally how it feels with Rob Dickey.
It is like that. But this time it works. And he gets ahead on it, across goal. And it's a brilliant header. Zunu can't do much, and then it's, I think, just attempted clearance off the line, but it's gone in and doubled our lead. Yeah, Rothwell, and it's 2-0, and I really can't believe it. And I was like, we could actually really get 3 points now. Because at 1-0, you obviously never know. But yeah, 62nd minute that was. So it was
let's talk about the period between our first and second goal, shall we? Because I feel like that's quite important. Well, I'm obviously still in absolute confusion over the fact that we've actually scored against Southampton and taken the lead, so I don't really know what's going on. But I've watched that period back, and actually Southampton, I wouldn't say camped in our half, but they were definitely building up pressure. And if I was a neutral watching it, I'd go, "Oh, Southampton are going to score here," because they're building up pressure. And actually, we do quite well to hold them off first, and then actually go and score the second goal ourselves, because I think that ultimately takes the game away from Saints, and they don't really look like they're gonna. I know they came back from 2-0 down on the weekend against Huddersfield, but that was at home and that was at half time as well, so they had more time. And we are, I'd say, better side than Huddersfield as well. And then after that, we were really good, managed the game really well. And yeah, the set piece ultimately killed Southampton's momentum, and yeah, just put us in a really good spot. After that, 72nd. Yeah, go on.
Just to mention, I got the timing wrong. It was this, 72nd minute was Dickie's goal. And before that were the substitutes. And I definitely kind of saw that. Obviously, Southampton, their massive side, they needed to bounce back from going down and to look for an equaliser. But we held our own and we stayed really composed. And we were great. Made some changes before that second goal, bringing Taylor Gardner-Hickman on for Jason Knight and then Cornick on for Bell. And then also before that goal, I want to mention, Zach Viner got a yellow card. And he didn't touch the player at all on the replay.
Can I be honest?
It looked like a bad tackle, but
can I be honest? I did not know what was going on. I was too not bothered by it. I'm at this. Me from the first goal until the second goal. It's just me in absolute confusion over what's going on. To be honest.
No, I see what you mean. I mean, the fact that we took the lead against Southampton, but it's disappointing though, because it is a yellow card. And let's say he does get that penalty and then we miss him, because I was thinking about it as well. Our defense has been so solid and we've got the 6th best defense in the league or something like that, maybe even better. And we've had that same 4-3-4 for a lot of the season. Obviously now we've got Roberts coming in and McCrory, but Zach Vine and Dickie particularly, I mean, if we lose one of them, it does really shake things up again, because they've been really good. And obviously Naismith and Atkinson are still out. But just it wasn't a yellow card because he didn't touch him, but it is what it is, I guess. But it didn't really matter in the
how many
big
yellows
scheme of things.
He's got 4 yellows. So if he gets one more, if Zach gets one more yellow card, then he'll be suspended for a game, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not fantastic.
Don't want to be getting him another yellow.
They might appeal it, to be honest, but we'll see.
It's a yellow card. I don't think they can.
You can't appeal? Oh.
I don't think so. Southampton made a couple of changes. David Brooks comes off, who had that nasty collision in opening minute of the second half with the post. He comes off for Sekou Mara, who is a highly rated French player. Sam Edozie came off, who I thought missed a couple of really good chances. Actually, the one really good chance in the first one was where he hit the bar was actually it was like a half chance. It was kind of fortuitous. He was quite lucky that he actually hit the post. Edozie, he came off for Ryan Fraser, who's on loan from Newcastle, I believe. Those are 2 substitutions. And then Bristol City, as you mentioned there, Jason Knight went off for Taylor Gardner-Hickman, and Harry Cornick came on for Sam Bell and slotted straight in, kind of made it, literally, the front 3 squashed up at that point. And Lord and behold, Harry Cornick scores a goal for Bristol City. Before that, there were a couple of changes, but I want to talk about the goal because this is just it's unbelievable. I think tactically, the setup after our second goal is just superb. And I want to give Liam Manning so much credit for that, because we could have easily just sat all the way back and not really offered much going forward. But actually, we took a bit of a risk to take off Sam Bell with his pace, brought on Harry Cornick, who he's good, but he's a bit more, I'd say a little bit more physical, and you might need to hoof the ball up to him, and then he might hold that play. I think Tommy Conway's still on the pitch at this point. No, that's a lie. He's not. But it's still outstanding from Cornick and from McCrory and from Taylor Gardner-Hickman.
It was fantastic. 3 substitutes creating the third goal. Because Taylor Gardner-Hickman came on, and then in the 76th minute, McCrory came on for Roberts. It was kind of a half counter-attacking goal. TGH kind of stayed composed, found the pass to the right-hand side, and then it's a beautiful run-in from Cornick, found by McCrory, and I'm watching him back now. Brilliant pass, first time, left side of the goal, 3-0. Harry Cornick's just scored. I'm buzzing. And then to top it off with a celebration of I don't know what, but
God knows what he's doing.
Is brilliant. And in his post-match interview, he said 2 Tash games, 2 Tash wins, a Tash goal. He's such a character. I love the man. I have to say, yeah, we didn't do a Middlesbrough review, but he was pretty good in that game as well. So I think he deserves a bit more praise recently. So maybe if he gets a bit more game time and shows some consistency, because I've written personally, I have to say I wrote him off quite a bit, but I mean it is just one goal, but we'll see where he is, and he's still obviously a valuable player
He was
to have. But yeah,
he was
brilliant goal.
he was really good against Middlesbrough for 45 minutes. It was a bit, well, Manning said it was for tiredness, and he looked a bit leggy. It might have been a complaint from Cornick actually, to go up to Manning and say that, but he was really good against Middlesbrough for the first 45 and really had an impact. And did you see that little where he turned into Diego Maradona in midfield and beat two Middlesbrough,
Yeah.
beat a Middlesbrough player, cut in, and then put Sam Bell through a clean throw on goal where Sam Bell should have finished it, but didn't, unfortunately. But yeah, I thought he was really good when he came on actually and made an impact. Not too much in terms of attacking because Southampton were trying to get the ball and trying to make chances, but ultimately we picked them off. What I really liked tactically about us was we sat in a low bid block, but we did not offer threat going forward, if you know what I mean. If that's good English. We always offered a threat on the counter attack, and you wouldn't have necessarily thought it with the substitutions we then made after the second goal, which was Rush McCrory came in for Hayden Roberts, so that meant George Tanner moved to left back, and Naki Wells came in for Tommy Conway, who again a little bit less physical, probably more pacey, and if you're controlling possession, he's the best. I think he's probably better in terms of linking play up. I thought after the second goal, we did really well tactically. And kept Southampton at bay. Again, as I said, low to mid block, kept our shape, and then hit them effectively on the break, and that's how our third goal came. So again, Southampton didn't really offer much after the second goal, and that's because we didn't allow them to. We held a really good defensive shape, and Bristol City were far superior going forward, and yeah, really good in terms of taking our chances, which we haven't been saying a lot, have we? We've been complaining about the fact that we haven't been taking chances.
Yeah, a lot in recent times as well, but it was great to score 3 goals today. And yeah, like you said, I think it works for us as well. If we go up some goals, I feel like the momentum that we have, it's better if we keep on pushing and really put the game to bed and really play brilliant football, because we sit back and we're not a team who deals with pressure well. And then we get into risky situations, unforced errors, and we managed to lose games. So yeah, it was really good to see that with the substitutes used. And overall, you said the block, the press was brilliant. So many interceptions, especially by Joe Williams in that midfield, to create counter attacks and movements forward. So it's fantastic. It was just a brilliant performance overall. In terms of Southampton, I mean, we mentioned the substitutes earlier. I was surprised Brooks and Edozie came off, to be honest, because I thought they carried their biggest threat, really.
Well, I wasn't surprised. Well, Edozie carried a threat, but his end product is absolutely dismal. It's absolutely dismal. I know he's a good player, but he was absolutely dismal on the night. I thought he did well in terms of getting in the box and then creating, having shooting opportunities, but that's because of other qualities in their team. Rothwell and Smallbone and Charles in midfield, who I thought were okay at dictating play. Apart from that, I think actually that's that let Southampton down. I don't want to dwell on the opposition too much, but I think that's what let them down, to be honest, the quality in the wide areas. And normally Brooks and Edozie are quite good, aren't they? And yeah, that didn't happen.
I think obviously Southampton were below par as well for them. But yeah, I see what you mean. But I still think after that as well, they really had nothing going forward, in my opinion, after that kind of break, once we got that second goal as well. But yeah, I guess it was in terms of quality that decision. But yeah, we got third goal, and then a few minutes later, a debut for Mabude comes on for Anis Mehmeti in the 86th minute. Long awaited, because he was signed a couple of weeks ago now, right?
Didn't play at Middlesbrough,
because he didn't play at Middlesbrough, couldn't play at Forest, and also couldn't play at Leeds, was it? Because he was signed
because
too
he
far.
wasn't signed in time. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So 2 games ineligible, and then wasn't he didn't come on at Middlesbrough, which I was a bit surprised about, because we were 2-0 up at that point. But yeah, he came on. I thought he was okay. I mean, he showed a little bit of threat. He decided to play it safe and pass it back in a couple of times. He didn't want to risk it too much. But he seemed like he had a bit of threat, kind of similar to that Ani and Matiss kind of character going forward. But hopefully build some confidence, and I think he could be a useful player if he gets to his full ability. So hopefully we'll see something.
Yeah, I liked what I saw actually of him in the what would have been 10 minutes ish. We saw of him. Actually, yeah, I thought he was lively, and yeah, hopefully he has an impact further on. And yeah, again, he offers us something different on the on the wings, doesn't he? In terms of different to Mamati, different to Bell, different to Sykes. Yeah, a bit more pace, a bit more. I think I'd say he's kind of a mix of what I've seen of him and what I've heard of him. He's kind of a mix of Bell and Mamati, where he's got the pace, but he's also got like the skills to take on opposition. He's not afraid to take on opposition as well. Where I think Mameti's been a little bit lacking in terms of he's got the quality Mameti and he's shown it before where he's against Hull, where he was absolutely brilliant. There's literally ran, who was it? Would have been Louis Coyle. Yeah, Louis Coyle, the whole right back, ran him ragged and took him on every time. And recent games, he's not been quite doing that again. He's gone back to the old Mameti where he's kind of like, oh, he's gone to a promising situation where he should probably put a ball in, but he's gone backwards. Or he should take a man on, he's gone backwards. It's just decision making is not quite there with Anis and consistently. So hopefully, Dia and Bude can show positive signs. Kamaldeen Sulemana came on for Southampton on 73 for Joe Rothworth. I forgot to mention that. And yeah, Southampton were awarded a penalty in the 7 minutes of stoppage time that were Ashton Gate. I was a bit annoyed by that. I wanted that clean sheet. It would have looked nice on the score sheet as well. Well, when some results are just satisfying, like a 3-0 home win, like a 2-0 away win, they're just satisfying, aren't they? 3-1. Obviously, it's still Southampton. It's a brilliant victory, but yeah, it takes a little bit. Harry Cornick just makes a stupid challenge. I mean, I'll let him off, but if he does that at 0-0 and it's in the 94th minute, I'll be screaming, and yeah, it won't be very good. It won't be very positive. Well, it won't be very positive from me.
Just watching it on replay again, I just don't know what he's doing. He just has no awareness, and he completely
absolutely leathers
his foot completely, and takes him out. Obviously, a penalty. Yeah, it is annoying, like you said. A 3-0 just looks beautiful, and to give away a penalty last minute, in the grand scheme of things, obviously not a big deal. But yeah, also was a bit annoyed with Williams again, because he got a yellow card for dissent again there, and it just
he got no.
I don't know.
I thought he got a yellow card for absolutely wiping someone out.
No,
it dissent?
I'm pretty sure it was dissent watching it, because it happened right after Cornick did that in that kind of kerfuffle there, and then I saw him bring out the yellow. I thought he was going to give a yellow to Cornick. Cornick didn't actually get booked. But I think it was for dissent. It was just arguing with the ref. Maybe I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it wasn't. And it's just, and again, it's just stupid. I know maybe in the ground, like in that game, we still win overall, but again, it's like the Zach Reiner he obviously tends to get a lot of yellow cards, and then missing him in games can be crucial. So yeah, just a little bit annoying. But yeah, penalty. Armstrong takes it.
Adam Armstrong. They've got
Adam Armstrong takes it. And like you said, did that bring him to top goal scorer now?
Well, he's joint with Sammy Smodic, weirdly enough.
Sammy Smodic. Yeah, so he slots it right hand side of the goal. Max dives the wrong way. But hey ho, there's only a couple minutes left of the game anyway. And we held it out, and it was full time.
Would have been interesting if Southampton scored straight from kickoff, though, wouldn't it? Because I think they had a good opening. While Carl Walker-Peters got in down the right hand side, and well, if they'd scored from that situation, thankfully they didn't. that would have been interesting with a couple of minutes left and Southampton piling on all the pressure and all the possession they do play with. Joe Williams, for context, has now got 6 yellow cards, so he needs 4 more, I think, for a 3-game suspension. So yeah, he should be.
Knowing
Fine.
Joe Williams, I don't know.
He'll somehow
Hopefully
manage
not.
to accumulate 3 yellow cards in the same match. And still, it's just what you'll do. Yeah,
If they
hopefully
introduce blue cards, he'll be
he'll be gone.
somehow
He'll be gone
goes
within
through.
5 minutes. He's gone. He's gone. Yeah, I was saying him and Rob Dickey are absolutely finished if we have blue cards in the championship this season, because they are going to get. We're going to have 9 players for 90 minutes. It's not. Yeah. Yeah, but yeah, he should be all right for the near future anyway. Let's go on to, and do you have any final summaries of the match before we move on to player ratings?
No, I just say, I mean, just again, how the championship can change. I mean, personally, I'm not looking at the top 6, to make that clear, but we were on a really bad run. Now we've just won back-to-back games. Again, could go on a little run. We have QPR on Saturday, which looks like a good opportunity, but knowing us, it's going to be another one that we're going to mess up. But yeah, moving up the table a little bit, and I still think we can have a good end to the season, and we're playing good football. But West Brom now, Andy Vyman scored as well. Again,
Against Cardiff,
he's doing brilliant, and yeah, against Cardiff, he does like a goal against the Bluebirds. But yeah, West Brom have gone quite a bit clear in 5th, so it's kind of like 6 teams fighting for one spot. And I don't know if we're quite there yet, but no, just a brilliant win overall, and it's a big statement as well to beat a side like Southampton who are on that unbeaten run. So yeah, it shows a lot of character. Hopefully we can push on now. So yeah, just brilliant win overall.
All right, I've whipped out the old notebook. We'll go through each player. I haven't included the substitutes, have I? Right.
Which are we? We're not including Mabude. Right? Because I mean it's 10 minutes. I feel like there has to be a minimum.
Sure. All right. Yeah. No. Fine. That's all right. All right. Let's go through each player. We'll start at the back. We'll start with Max O'Leary. Max, then I thought he made some good saves especially at 1-0, where they were just as I said, that little period between our first goal and our second goal, where they were just getting on top a little bit. They're putting a little bit more boxes in the box, across in the box, had a bit more box entries, and I thought Max actually did quite well to command his area a couple of times, gathered really well. Distribution again was a little bit off, but I thought he had a solid game. I don't think he did anything wrong per se, and I thought he actually was quite important in our defence. I've given him a 7.
I've also given him a 7, and I didn't just copy you because I thought he was pretty solid as well. I mean, he didn't get the clean sheet, but obviously we wouldn't blame it at all. And I'd say I'd give the whole defense deserve a quote unquote clean sheet because they did nothing wrong all game other than obviously the one little back pass by Roberts. But on Max, he made some saves that he should be making, but one good chance, Walker Peters was down on the right and he stuck a good leg out. So it was a good save, and yeah, I thought he was solid, and I'd also give him a 7 and another good game. And I feel like when people bring up subject over our goalkeeper situation, I feel like it's not too high on our priority list, in my opinion. I think Max is a good championship keeper. And yes, obviously he has things to work on, but so does every player. So I think
that's why
we have other
they're
areas.
In the Championship, not in the Premier League.
Yeah, I understand that, but like I feel like there's other areas where we need to improve that should be taken into account first before we look at Max, because I think he's been solid this season and even above the high end Championship. But yeah, a 7 overall. Yeah. Shall I do the next one then?
There was the next player I'll start with is George Tanner, right side of the back four. What have you given him, And by the way, we can go like 0.5s and whatnot, but don't go like too silly, like
Okay.
7.2 or something. Just do like 0.5.
Again, I thought Tanner, he's been really consistent in recent games. He didn't have much to do, I feel
Didn't
like,
have
if
much to
I
do. It's so
remember.
easy for him. Didn't have much to do.
That's the thing. I feel like he just goes on about his job and goes a bit unnoticed. I feel like he's a quiet character, but he does his job and he does it well. But yeah, he didn't make any mistakes. I'd say I'd give him a 7 as well. For his performance. I thought he was solid. And yeah, I'd join him with Max on a 7 for last night.
I thought Tanner was outstanding, to be honest. And the fact that we've just said he'd had nothing to do against one of the best teams in the league, yeah, it's pretty good. I'll give him a 7.5. I thought he was slightly better than in comparison to Max O'Leary's output. I'd just give him slightly better. So I'll give him 7.5. You went with 7, didn't you?
Yeah.
Let's move on to centre backs then. Zach Viner, I thought was outstanding. Commanded him and Dickey were brilliant. We'll move on to Dickey in a minute. I thought he commanded the defense really well. Just your normal Zach Viner performance. I gave him an 8.
I've gone with the same as well. I think he was really good. And we mentioned it earlier, Vine and Dickey, that partnership, their consistency, one of the best defenses in the league. And yeah, he was solid.
Sixth best in terms of goals
Sixth
against,
best.
I think.
Yeah, exactly. And that shows, and come a long way with Viner over the years. But yeah, it's brilliant to see him consistently doing well and one of our best players. So yeah, an 8 for that performance defensively. Yeah, structured and a really good performance from him.
Sound like a proud dad.
Now,
we've come such a long way with Viner.
it's true. I feel like he's completely turned the fan base as well.
No, it's just the way you said it. It's like, oh, we've come so far with him. It's like you've seen him grow from a little child, but all right. We'll move on to a centre back partner then, Rob Dickey, who is comfortably signing of the season for me so far. Started off a little bit shaky. I meant as in like the first few games of the season, but since then he's been impeccable. I gave him an 8 as well.
Okay, I've gone for a 9. I've gone for a 9. So it's a bit. Yeah, I thought he was fantastic. I have to say, for me as well, I've said I feel like that defense deserves a clean sheet from last night, and just the way he carries the ball as well, and the chances he creates, and he did it. Was it in the Middlesbrough goal? I'm pretty sure one of them,
Jason
maybe.
Knight one,
yeah, exactly. And again today, he was creating chances for counter attacks and really structured and brilliant. And then he also tops it off with a header and a great goal. So yeah, I'd say a 9.
How many goals has he scored this season for us? Because I think it's
a lot. He has been fantastic.
He scored 4 goals and he's got an assist. Can't
3 goals. 4 goals.
4 goals. 4 goals. 4 goals and assists. 5 goal contributions. Yeah, it's quite good. Let's move on to left back then. Hayden Roberts, who started ahead of Cam Pring. And by the way, you can get involved in the live comment section right now, or after the event if you're watching it after the event. So do give us your match ratings, player ratings for everyone we mentioned here. Hayden Roberts, I thought was excellent. Had a bit of a shaky first half where he didn't really do much going forward. I thought defensively he was solid throughout, to be honest. If it was based on defensively, I'd give him a 10. But obviously, fullback, modern day attacking players also judged. First half, I thought was quite poor in terms of quality and crossing. But overall, I thought he did quite well. I'll give him a 7 as well.
Yeah, I'd also agree. We've got a lot of similar ones here, but yeah, he did give away that back pass in the second half early on, which he was very lucky to get away with, because we definitely could have gone 1-0 down there. But overall, he was solid. I mean, we obviously haven't seen too much of him in a City shirt, but he's back from injury and he looks pretty comfortable on the ball, defensively great. Maybe we can see more of him going forward, but a solid performance. So yeah, 7 is probably deserved.
Right, let's move into midfield then. Captain and midfield master, midfield general, Mr. Matty James, who was Sky Sports Man of the match actually yesterday. I thought he was outstanding, to be honest, and I agree with him. I thought he was man of the match. I'll give him an 8.5 because I thought he was just so good. I thought he was absolutely brilliant alongside Joe Williams, and I was completely wrong about the fact that when I looked at the team news, like, oh, Williams and James, 2 good players, but not sure they work in the same team. But yeah, I thought he was brilliant. I'll give Matty James a 8.5. What about you?
I'd give him an 8, just a bit lower. But yeah, like you said, usually doesn't work, but they both were brilliant in the midfield at collecting balls and interceptions, and just really glued that midfield together a lot more than we usually do. Obviously, we can always do it better, and it's been a kind of a problem that we can't move for the midfield. It feels sometimes empty, but he was great and defensively as well. So yeah, I'd give him an 8. And yeah, another good captain performance.
Let's move on to Joe Williams then, who I thought was excellent again. Him and James actually worked really well. I'll go an 8 for him. Him too, because I thought he was excellent.
I've gone kind of the opposite. I've edged Joe Williams in my eyes, and I've given him an 8.5. I just thought he's just relentless in the midfield, and lots of interceptions, creating chances, making that first ball in, start off an attack. And I just remember just seeing that a lot of times. Yellow card at the end annoyed me a bit, but I'm going to ignore that. So yeah, I'd give him an 8.5, and
Jason Knight, I thought had a good game. I thought he pressed quite well, and is just Jason Knight, Duracell Bunny. Recently his birthday as well, so that happy birthday, Jason Knight. I thought he did well. I thought it was a general good performance from Knighty. I'll go 7.
I got 7 as well, because I think he had a good performance. He did come off in the 64th minute, so played just over an hour, but like you said, constant press, doesn't stop running, and got on the ball a couple times, and not an absolutely amazing performance, but he was again solid in that number 10 position. So 7 as well.
Let's move into the front players then, or proper front players. Sam Bell. Now, Sam Bell, I would have gone 6.5 because I thought he was quite hit and miss. However, that goal did bump it up to a 7, and the momentum shift was quite important. And his positioning, obviously, is quite good. Gets in front of the defender. I'll go 7 for Sam. I thought he had an indifferent game, but that goal was important for the whole team.
Yeah, I've got the same for this one as well. I think he was average through his times on the pitch. He came off same time as Knight for Cornick. But yeah, I mean, when you score a goal, I mean, that is your job really as an attacking player, and he took it well. Those should be going in, but it's still good and very good for his confidence, and happy for him to be back on the score sheet. So yeah, I'd say a 7 as well.
Here comes a controversial one then. Tommy Conway, who I thought was... Well, you tell me then. You go first for this one. What do you make of Conway's performances yesterday?
I felt like I didn't see much of him, really. Just in my mind, I look at what was that game, and it's a game kind of he could be thriving on and really playing well. And he played a lot of the game. He came off only in the 76th minute, and that was after that was at 2-0. Yeah, wasn't really much of an attacking threat, I thought. I don't remember any clear chances with him. Felt like he was pretty unused, to be honest. So So yeah, I'd say I'd give him a 6 really, because he was pretty par for me, and off the top of my head, I really can't remember a lot of impact, and which is a shame to say. I still think he's a brilliant player, but he didn't really get too much going forward, and not really any chances. So yeah, I'd say a pretty average performance and a 6.
Aniston, who went off
Well,
on the
what would you
86th.
give to Conway?
Oh yeah, sorry, I'll give him a 6 as well. Yeah, I give him a 6.
Oh.
I gave him a 6. I thought he was quite ineffective most of the game. Anis then came off in the 86th minute for Dirain Bude. I thought Mehmeti was excellent, to be honest. I was really impressed with what he did. I've given. I might have been a little bit generous, but I've given him an 8.
Okay. Yeah, I gave him a 7.5 for this one. I think obviously he has that brilliant attacking threat going forward. He got the assist for the first goal on the right hand side, and he was relentless, but he's still, I feel like, just missing a little bit more composure and kind of that final piece of, I don't know, quality at the end point, because he's a very talented player. He had a shot in the first half. There were different options, but he took a shot. I don't mind people taking a shot, but yeah, I'd say 7.5. He was decent. He brings his normal threat that he has, and he was pretty effective. And he got an assist as well, and it was a good passer across goal. So yeah, 7.5.
Yeah, got the assist for the first one. Taylor Gardner. So we'll move on to substitutes now. Taylor Gardner Hickman, who came on in the 64th minute for Jason Knight. I thought Tails did well. He won a free kick right at the end, didn't he? Where that was quite important just to alleviate some of the pressure. I thought he did quite well. I'd give him a 7.
Yeah, obviously didn't play too much, but when he came on, he was effective and played the role really well, and he started that goal for the third goal for us. So
Yeah,
I'd agree with a 7. I think he didn't do. You know what? I'll go 6.5, because
okay.
I feel like if we're calling 6 a par, I'd say he wasn't on for too long as well, but I thought he did well and he held it well. But I felt like at that point as well, the game was died off, and I felt like we had a lot of control. But yeah,
Well, he
I'd say
played
between a 6.5
over
and a
half an
7.
hour. He played over half
Yeah,
an hour,
that's
didn't
true.
he? Yeah. Okay, so I'll give 7. Harry Cornick, who came on 64 for Sam Bell. Can I be honest? I don't think he did. Well, the goal obviously is massive, and it's Harry Cornick, and he doesn't really score much. We kind of make fun of him, but actually, apart from the goal, I don't want to sound harsh here. I don't think he had an unbelievable. It wasn't like unbelievable. He got on the end of a good cross across McCrory. I'd give him a 7. 7. I don't think he did too much. I think he gave away the penalty, didn't he? Which is silly, but I'd excuse him for that.
Yeah, exactly. That penalty, I mean, obviously it didn't mean too much, but he got a goal at the end of the day. Other than that, I thought he carried a little bit of attacking threat. I mean, I love the guy. But yeah, I'd agree on a 7. It's a brilliant finish, first time as well.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, came on, and yeah, obviously brilliant and effective in his about half an hour on the pitch. But yeah, I'd settle with a 7 as well.
Ross McCrory.
I thought he was really good. And yeah, he came on at the same time. Well, no, a bit later actually, with Naki Wells on the 76th minute, and obviously assisted that goal. Did really well on the right hand side there, and he's been brilliant for us as well as he came on, and obviously he's going to start getting more consistent playing time. I don't think he's played a full 90 for us yet, unless he did at Middlesbrough. No, yeah. So yeah, he came on for that last stint. I thought he was good defensively as well. Got the assist. I'd say 7.5. I'm going for.
Did you say 7 for Cornick?
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I'd agree with 7.5. I thought he was quite good, and the assist for the ball in for the Cornick goal is excellent. Although I don't think you'd see that from George Tanner. So yeah, he offers us a little bit, and that's no disrespect to George Tanner. I think he's unbelievable defensively and better than Ross McCrory defensively, but you don't really see that going forward from George. Naki Wellston, who I thought was meh, didn't really. He's okay. I thought it didn't really have an impact. I'd give him a 6.
Yeah, I'd say the same. He had a pretty average performance, really. Didn't have much to do. Didn't have too much time on the pitch and on the ball, but yeah, I'd say just a 6 for him. And then Mabuda came on. It was a bit too late. I'd say to rate him on anything, but he looked pretty positive and a bit of an attacking threat. But yeah,
Liam Manning.
Oh yeah, manager rating.
You go first.
Thing is, what is a 10?
Winning
That is
against
a
second in the
question.
league
I
by
think
3-1.
that's the thing. That where do you draw a point in line where you can just say that was a 10 out of 10 performance? And I'd say
Well, it'd have to be the tactic. Well, the opposition is obviously fine, but sometimes if you beat, I don't know, if we beat Leicester, but we have 25% of the ball and we get absolutely battered and somehow nick a 1-0 win, I'm not going to say that was all on Liam Manning. I'm gonna give him praise, but I'm not going to say that was unbelievable. But what I saw yesterday was a side that knew exactly what they were doing in terms of setting up defensively, holding that unbelievable structure to hold Southampton out for that long. And ultimately, it was not a clean sheet, but it might as well have been because it was a stupid challenge from Harry Cornick, and he should have cleared that anyway. And it was in the 90-something minute. So ultimately, I think the tactical setup from Manning yesterday was absolutely spot on, and he changed it, didn't he, throughout the game, where when Southampton were piling the pressure on, he sat back a little bit more and then allowed Gardner Hickman, McCrory to bomb forward, and Harry Cornick got the third goal, which absolutely killed Southampton. I think that, and the fact that we actually started to attack a lot more and were really clinical going forward, I'd give him a 10. To be honest, and that might be a little bit generous, but I'm giving him a 10. I don't care.
I'm gonna go with a 9.5.
Right.
I think it was fantastic, and like you said, I think it really suits us well if we push on after we score our first couple goals instead of sitting back. And I think the timing. Sometimes I disagree with some choices of substitutes with him, I have to say, but I think he got them spot on. And obviously it showed with 3 of the substitutes playing a part in that third goal. Defensively, we were fantastic. And yeah, it was just a brilliant performance. I mean, it was 3-0 up until the 95th minute against a team who hasn't lost since September, which is just incredible. But always room for improvement, like he always says. The fact that we know this team can do even better. Exactly, behaviors. So I give a 9.5. But yeah, even with it, not our full team out as well. Like realistically, with Twine would come in and stuff like that.
Sykes.
I mean, exactly. Like
Naismith.
we are a good side on our day, and we play brilliantly. So yeah, I'd give him a 9.5. But that's the thing. It's that point now where can we play like this and get the results against those mid-table, lower side championship sides, because we know we can play well against sides who let us play football. Because we've had good games and narrow losses against the likes of Ipswich 1-0 and Leicester they did dominate that game, but Leeds 2-1. Yeah, exactly. Southampton away when we just narrowly lost 1-0 through a beautiful goal from Walker Peters. So yeah, exactly. We missed chances there by Conway as well, and it's always been that case. But now we've scored 3 goals and it's a brilliant win. It's just whether can really string a nice run on and start beating those sides where we draw 0-0 and it gets really frustrating. But we're on the right track here, that's for sure. But yeah, it's just that next step.
All right. Talk about the next step then. Next game is against QPR and Ashton Gate. We'll just quickly talk through it. QPR have been in good form actually. Annoyingly, they've been doing quite well actually down the bottom. They play tonight actually as we speak. They're going to play against Stoke away from home. So yeah, that's a long old trip for the QPR fans, and then they're going to have to take another away trip to Ashton Gate. Last 4 games for Rangers have been 2 draws and 2 wins. It was a win against Millwall, a draw at home to Huddersfield, a win away at Blackburn, and a draw at home to Norwich. Norwich, good team, and the other 3 games actually quite important in terms of their league position and teams around them. And tonight actually is a massive game for QPR as well, I'd argue. What are your thoughts on this game then? How do you think we'll go about it first from our perspective?
Just on QPR and their form, I mean, before that they were in a pretty in a pretty bad state of form. Their results have been good recently, but to be honest, Middlesbrough, Blackburn have been really poor in recent times. And Huddersfield at home, and they got a good point against Norwich, but yeah, sorry. What did I say?
You said Middlesbrough.
Yeah, sorry, yeah, Millwall and QPR and Blackburn. Obviously faced them for our first game for Manning back in November, which was a very entertaining 0-0 draw that I went to.
Enthralling, captivating, amazing.
Brilliant one that was. But yeah, I think it's a big opportunity to go on another back-to-back victory streak, and I think we can do it. And if we do play like we have been doing, and we can just open them up and really push on, and like I mentioned it earlier, if we can beat teams like QPR, who they go up and down in form, and they're kind of in that lower, they're in the relegation zone. They are low, but they are fighting to stay up, and they're only a couple points off now. So yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. We are at home though. I do think we have the advantage and the better form personally going into it. We have got a lot of draws. I mean, we looked at it and we had 1 win in 10 with that West Ham, but now we have 1 loss in 7. So you can kind of like switch it back like that.
That's what draws do to a side, doesn't it? That's what draws do.
Yeah, exactly. But just in terms of performances recently, I think we've been really good, and I think we can go out. Obviously, we'll make some rotations. I'm not sure what I'd expect him to do. Maybe I'd see McCrory start. We'll see Pring.
Would you drop Tanner? Really? I wouldn't drop Tanner.
I mean, but we can play.
Rest, but I wouldn't drop him. No chance.
But we can play.
We'll go to a back 5
like we did. Yeah.
I don't think that suits us, to be honest. Yeah, actually no. But the back 5 might. Well, we haven't had enough evidence, but the back 5 might work against a side that's going to be less expansive than Southampton. Maybe that might work. But we're not gonna sit deep at home, are we? Against QPR, there's no way that's going to happen.
Yeah, we can't do that.
We're going to want to dominate. We're going to want to dominate the ball, score more goals, and win comfortably. I have no idea what the team's going to be, so I don't think there's any point talking about it, because it could literally be anything, and I wouldn't really be surprised. It could be Harry Cornick up top on his own, and I wouldn't really be surprised at this point. Bristol City, though, will be wearing their 1974 heritage kit against QPR this weekend, which has been released as we were live. So yeah, you can check it out right now, Matiss. It's actually a really nice kit. Yeah, so that'll be out on show. In terms of a score prediction against QPR, then what do you think? Think will happen?
I've been a bit of a mastermind on my predictions recently, I have to say. I don't know if anyone's noticed it on the podcast.
A broken clock is right twice a day.
Yeah, but Oh, I got the West Ham prediction 1-0. I said we go to pens against Nottingham Forest 1-1. Yeah, wrong way around.
Broken clock. Yeah.
Yeah. Got the Middlesbrough right 2-1. Southampton
Broken
we don't
clock.
talk about.
What do you say?
QPR. I say we win because I really hope we've overcome this point where we can now beat these sorts of relatively struggling sides in terms of where they're long term over the season. And the fact we've just put in, I mean, no one expected us to get 6 points in those 2 games realistically after our form, and we've turned it around. And I think we can win, and I think we can win convincingly as well. I think we'll keep a clean sheet for the first time. Well, we got one at Forest, but in the league, it'll be the first time in a little bit, will it? Maybe I'm waffling, but we haven't got a lot of them. And I felt I wanted Max to get one last night as well. But I will say 2-0 to the Robins and goals from Kornick. 3 Tash games, 2 Tash goals, 3 Tash wins.
Goodness me.
From Joe Williams. Just a little span in the works. I love Harry Cornick, man. I swear to God, I'm going to get him on the back of my shirt.
This is ridiculous. This Harry Cornick loving. It's mental. I mean, I respect it, but it is quite interesting.
That song is my alarm now. Every time I wake up, woke up this morning.
Feeling fine. Harry Cornick. Okay. I was going to go 2-0 as well. Fuck.
I nicked it. Got to change it now.
Christ. I don't want to go 2-1. Okay, I'll go 2-1. We'll go 1-0 down, then we'll score 2 goals to come back. That'll be what happens. I mean, my heart attack will come, but we'll take it. I'll go to Bristol City 2, QPR 1. If you're watching this, let us know your score predictions down in the comment section below. Let us know your score predictions for the QPR game. And yeah, I think that's about it for this podcast. Thank you very much for joining us live on YouTube. We'll try to make this more of a thing, if possible. And we'll catch you all very soon. Thank you very much for tuning in. Matiss, do you want to say goodbye before to the podcast, boys? Everyone listening.
Thank you very much for listening, watching, all that good stuff. Make sure to follow our socials, Ani's YouTube as well. And we'll be back after QPR. Hopefully our third consecutive win, bounce 3 on the row win streak after QPR at home. So playoffs? ? I don't think so, but we'll see. We never know.
Massive question mark. You can if you are. It's going to be on Spotify, probably, isn't it? So you can go on Spotify and give us a rating out of, is it 5 on Spotify? Can't remember, 5, isn't it? Yeah, it's 5. Subscribe on the YouTube. Give us a little like for the algorithm, and we will see you all very soon. Thank you very much.